Excuse me. Lemon water. All right. Can you hear me?
I hear you. Do you hear me?
I took a big swig of my lemon water and seed went right down my throat.
What are you doing putting lemons in your water?
Crazy kid. All right. I can hear you just fine. Whenever you're ready, we will jump in, my friend.
I'm all set.
All right. Welcome to Just Curious Media. This is Let's Talk Cobrakai. I'm Jason Connell.
And I'm Sal Rodriguez.
All right, Sal. We are back for another episode.
Yeah, another fan appreciation episode, which I appreciate. I appreciate the fan appreciation episodes.
I know you do. You were very reluctant on volume 1, but you got in line very quickly. And this is volume 8.
Jason, because I thought like, are we like tooting our own horn here? I'm not a big fan of that, although it seems to be the era for that. I was like, are we tooting our own horn? But you know what we're doing is we're honoring our supporters is what we're doing.
Yes, that's exactly right. That's what we are doing. And here we go. Fan Appreciation Volume 8. We're going to start at the top with our Patreon supporters. Just a quick shout out, if you will. And then we're going to get into our Apple Podcast 5-star reviews, which is fantastic. So let's start with our Patreons. You can support us on patreon.com. Just type in Let's Talk Cobrakai on the website. Super easy to find us. Exciting. There's some new exciting things coming. I don't want to get too far in the weeds. I'm exploring some other things on some other subscription models or premium content, but just it's not ready to be announced. But Patreon's an amazing place to help the show. I mean, that little bit a month, you decide. There's different levels, but Sal, even a little bit goes a long way to pay for some of the production cost and time, and energy, and a lot of money goes out.
No, you know what, Jason? I was talking to a friend of mine. A friend of mine was like, I want to start a podcast. And I'm like, oh, that's great. I think everybody should start a podcast. But it's like, it's not free. You know, like you need to put money into it. So, and those money, you either just put money in and you'll never get it back, or hopefully you'll get it back and hopefully you can recoup and hopefully you'll break even or whatever. But it's not free to have a podcast.
No, equipment cost money, subscriptions cost money to host. It just adds up. Now I made movies before. It's not that level, but this isn't a movie. You're never really done. That's something else you do. It's like running a magazine back in the day or doing a newspaper. You do an episode, great. Oh, you need another episode. So it's constant content. And yeah, it comes at a cost. In our Patreons, it absolutely helps. So I'm going to rattle off the names here. Start with the levels. Sal, just tell us the level and I'll shout out for the Patreons. So go ahead.
Our originator, right? Lindsay Bebo, our strike first Patreon supporter.
Yeah. Well, I was sorry. I was going to say the strike first, but I like that. Yeah. Lindsay Bebo. We've had her on the actual episode of Let's Talk Cobrakai. She was on one day. It was awesome. We've had several of our Patreons on, so all the more reason to join us. You may just get plucked and pulled in and be on an episode yourself. How meta is that? But no, very good. So do the next one. Give us the name and the level. Love it.
Then we have Eric Williams at the strike hard level.
Yes. And the next, they're going in sequentially here because there's a theme.
Then we got at the no mercy level, Brian Rumfala and Stephanie McLemon. Yes. Are we pronouncing that wrong?
I'm sorry. McLemon, and it's Rumfola, like cola. And Brian has actually been on an episode of Let's Talk Cobrakai. Stephanie, hopefully we can get her next time. I've asked, and
Jason, let me just tell you this, and I mean this. I have other podcasts that I listen to that I'm a fans of. They don't invite anybody on. They don't invite listeners on. We're inviting listeners to be a part of our show.
Hey, we even devote episodes to our fans. I'm not saying I don't care what they're doing. This is what we're doing. And notice the theme there. It comes from somewhere. Strike first, strike hard, no mercy. I love that. Very good. Hey, clever, you guys over there. Okay, Sal, please continue.
At the black belt level, Adam Ulrich and AikidoCon 80, Nicholas Vikstrom at the black belt level.
Yes. Adam's actually been on an episode as well, and AikidoCon 80 has been a fan for a long time, and love him. He actually printed off his own logos of Let's Talk Cobra Kai, has these decals on his car in Sweden, zipping up and down the freeway, promoting the show.
I love that. I love that.
How about that?
I grew up listening to Jason. I grew up listening or watching Pippi Longstocking.
Oh, I loved Pippi Longstocking.
The fact that we have fans in Sweden, I'm literally almost going to cry. I mean, it's huge.
It's huge. I loved Pippi Longstocking as well. I think they just sold one of the houses that she lived in.
Because you know why? Pippi Longstocking, like kids my age, kids at that time, I want to be rich. I was like, I want to be Pippi Longstocking. She has her own house. She's 9 and she has her own house.
Yeah,
I want that.
It was cool. It was awesome. So thank you, Patreons. Love it. You guys have been with this, some of you, for years now. And I'm so touched because, yes, a little bit goes a long way. Different levels. You can join us at various levels. Price points go up. It's not crazy, but it helps. And we do need more. There's no doubt about it. And like I said, there's more things coming. We'd rather be a fan-supported show, right? There's sponsorship, and then that comes and goes. We recently had a sponsor, and that was great for over a season. And then relationships, like, it's ever changing. There's so many podcasts. There's so much competition. All we can do is continue to come back, put our best effort out there, Sal, make more and more and more content, and grow our fan base. And those fans that want to go above and beyond and leave us 5-star reviews or ratings or become a Patreon, that really helps immensely.
Yeah, it's next level. It's we reach out, we create content, we reach out. And then when you reach back, that's a big deal. Thank you.
Huge. Another quick shout out to a super fan, not a Patreon and not a 5-star review, but a contributor. And we actually did an episode in his honor at one point in time because he left us this beautiful voicemail. So we played it and talked about it. And that was and is Costa Dinos. He helped us this last season, contributed some of his time, his energy, his efforts, and he's a great guy. And he's gonna have to be on an episode in the flesh. Well, like through Zoom, but not just a voicemail, but fantastic. So love his fanhood, and his super fan status. And so shout out to you, Costa.
Yeah,
thank you very much
Costa,
for all your help.
You're officially part of the team now. Thank you.
Part of the team. Next level. Next level is what you said before.
Yeah.
So now, Sal, the meat of this episode is our Apple Podcast 5-star reviews. And just a quick recap here, because this can fluctuate, but our 5-star ratings we have 169 ratings for the show. And that's the little there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars. You click a button, you can rate it in 2 seconds, you're done. 1 second, you're done. But with our 169 ratings, we are currently holding a 4.8 rating. Let's Talk Cobra Kai, which is outstanding. And that matters. People look at that. If that was a 2.4, people move on down the road. If it was a 3.7, even a 4.2, you gotta be where we're at and above. And that's a great area to be. And we encourage any and everybody who hasn't voted, which is super simple on Apple. You just click that little 5-star and you're done. Those who want to go above and beyond and leave a review, outstanding. So we're going to read the reviews, and also, Sal, tell them where they can see their review live on our website. They all live there now.
Yeah, you want to visit justcuriousmedia.com. That's our mothership. That's the home base.
Mothership.
Yeah. Visit justcuriousmedia.com. See all of our shows. Click all of our links. Just Curious Media has many shows in addition to Let's Talk Cobra Kai, and you can hear and see all of our content. So yeah, it's a good spot to be in. It's a good place to go if you want content, because believe me, I watch and hear some of our listeners. They are cleaning, they are driving, they are moving about, and they want content. So that is a spot to go for content, to listen while you drive, while you clean, while you live your life, and listen to podcasting.
Yeah. And I should have been more clear, but they can also see these reviews. These Apple Podcast reviews are now consolidated, and there's a link on each show. So if you go to justcuriousmedia.com and go down to Let's Talk Cobra Kai, because that's what we're talking about, and there's a reviews Apple Podcast link, you click it, and all of these wonderful 5-star reviews from past and present, and hopefully there's a ton more in the future, they're there because they're hard for people to see. And like, your own review is now being publicized on our website for each individual show. So it's fantastic. I decided to put this up as another way to thank the fan and encourage other fans that your voice matters. Like you said, other shows don't have fans on. I don't know what those shows are doing, but we do. And we talk about fans and we give them X amount of episodes because we need to.
Hang on, Jason. When Jason Connell was like, I'm going to have some of our fans on, I was like, are you sure you want to do that? He was like, yes, I want to have our reviewers on. I want to have our 5-star reviewer fans on our show. And I was like, are you sure? And he's like, yes. So this was all Jason Connell's idea.
Yeah. I'm crazy sometimes. Actually, it was Patreons. I started with Patreons. So that's what we've had on. We've had some Patreons on, but more to come. And there's going to be more fans on. I mean, we don't just do a podcast about fans. We do a ton of content, and then we thank our fans every so often. We were overdue. We had been overdue. And to that point, volume 7 kind of caught us up. It was almost a year. Not that we had too many, but we had 11 to cover, 11 5-star reviews. And I broke it up in volume 7 and 8 because it would have been too many. So this is volume 8, and we are picking up the reviews from mid-November 2022 up into January 2023. Now, the reason we had so many in a short amount of time was because I did a call for our fans to give us, hey, we need some more reviews. We need to stand out in this marketplace. And in November, we got a lot of them. Our voices were heard, which is outstanding. So we might do another call, call for more of them, Sal, and see if we can stir the pot again. But it's fantastic, and I'm going to jump in here. I'm going to let you do the first one. We're starting with, if you have it up on your screen, the November 15th, 2022 one.
Yeah.
Okay. Start with that. We'll ping pong back and forth and get through these 10 and just give thanks, as we should, to our fans.
Yes, this is a 5-star review, and it says, "Thank you for being awesome!" ! I look forward to this podcast. Great show, great podcast. Thank you both for making the long ride to work worth it.
There you go.
No mercy.
Commuter.
I
No
love
mercy.
that.
And they threw a new
love
mercy
that.
in there. Love it.
I love that. This is by JJ Gats 02. JJ Gats 02. Thank you so much. No, I appreciate that because, when you're out there driving, I mean, I live in Los Angeles. I'm driving. I know the traffic. You want to hear something good. You want to hear something relaxing. You want to hear something that you can relate to. Yeah, believe me, I understand. So thank you so much for listening to our show. We really appreciate it.
And you really want to listen to something that shows
no mercy. Is that what you're going to say? No mercy.
I was hoping you would do it.
Okay.
Good
no
job.
mercy.
Yes. And I love the name. Do you go by JJ or Gats? Because they're both cool. JJ Gats. Very cool, man. I love that now we know you're a commuter, like Sal just said. And thank you for the shout out. Awesome, great show, great podcast. And I love that you look forward to the podcast. And hopefully this particular episode with your review on there, I hope you like that. Hope that puts a smile on your face. I truly do. Okay, the next one. Get ready. This is the big one. This is the
big
one.
Thank you, JJ.
I'll handle this one. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Gats.
Yes.
Okay, this one is ready, Sal?
Wait a second. What?
Yeah.
You're good luck with this one. Good luck.
Okay, I know, guys. Here we go. 5-star, of course. Oliver Spire. That's the title. Maybe that's the name of the person. I like it. Says, best podcast. Boom, mic drop. Handle this is really good. This is like a handle where you're just like, just make up a name. It's HDHDHD HRHEEBEBEBDFU. Ooh, thank you so much.
Pronounce that. Let's hear you pronounce that.
Hit it, ha, he, be, hit it, foo. Adam Sandler could probably pronounce that. Anyway, best podcast. I love that. You know what? We just said, give us a 5-star review. If you love the show, please do. And you know what? Some people don't have a lot of time. I've never done it for a show. So I commend you all for doing it for our show.
You never given a
Can't thank you
5-star
enough.
review to another show?
Not that I've never given anything short of. I just haven't done, I've done plenty of ratings, but I've never left a review. And now I'm inspired to pick out a show that's worthy, and do it, because this is really, really amazing stuff. So
Yeah, because it really
give the
makes
handle
a
a
difference.
crack there, Bub.
Oh, geez. Head to hara
Oh, you could have just done the letters. No.
HD 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 HR HEEBEBEBDFU.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Love it.
Why do I think the FU at the end means
I
something?
know. What is that? This reminds me of my high school cheer. It was it's really long, but thank you, Oliver Spire. I really appreciate it so much. Sal, next one's on you.
5-star review. Excellent and so entertaining. One of the best podcasts out there. If you like the Karate Kid saga by AkiraKhan80. AkiraKhan80 from Sweden.
Yes.
There we are.
Thank you. AkiraKhan80 actually did a 5-star review on Apple and it didn't show up. Sometimes that happens.
What?
It gets taken down, or I've heard this happening, or for something's happened. He showed me a screenshot one time. This is a while ago. And it was like showing on his end, but it wasn't showing on for us, right? It could be Sweden, USA, but sometimes Apple can be real finicky and didn't work. Obviously, he's been a super fan, power fan forever. I love that he says power fan. It's great. And then he finally got it to go up. So when this came up, I was like, oh, AkiraKhan got it to, up there. So fantastic. But he sends us messages all the time. Like I said, he's got our decal, our logo on his car. So thank you so much. And yes, if you love the Karate Kid saga, yeah, hopefully this podcast is for you, So thank you, AkiraKhan. And
Jason, AkiraKhan80 has Let's Talk Cobra Kai merch. We need Let's Talk Cobra Kai merch.
Maybe he'll sell you some, Sal.
Wouldn't that be that is that meta that our own fan sells us merch?
Yeah.
That would be meta.
That's funny. Okay, the next one. This truly is longer. I was joking. The last one I read. Here we go. Again,
5 stars.
Everything we're reading is 5 stars. Everything.
One of my top two.
It's my turn.
What? It is? God damn it.
You just went. Yeah. You're off your game. You're off your game. You just
I'm just so anxious to read these reviews.
I know. I was like, is he jumping in? I don't want to be that way, but we're gonna ping pong back and forth. Okay. Okay. So one of my top 2 Miyagi verse podcast. What's the other one, Sal? Oh,
yeah, I know. I want to know that. What's the other one?
This podcast is the one that made me really love Cobra Kai. To be honest, I've never seen full episodes of the show.
What?
But because of this podcast, breaking each episode down scene by scene, along with clips and reactions I've seen on YouTube, I have pieced together the entire show. This podcast is the glue that fits in the blanks on the best show around for me. This is a riddle. I love this review. This is by 40-year-old guy.
No, 46-year-old guy.
Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. It was a lot of reading by 46-year-old guy. I was shaving 6 years off for you there, bub. But fantastic. So let me get this straight, Sal. 46-year-old guy.
Yeah.
Watches Cobra Kai, but doesn't finish the whole episode.
Yeah. Weird.
Jumps over and listens and watches us, puts it together, fills in the blanks, loves the show. Theirs and ours. I love it. Whatever works.
Jason, I talked to somebody. I remember it jogs my memory. A few weeks ago, I talked to somebody that talked about listening to podcasts about a show without seeing the show. People do that.
I have heard this.
People do this.
I have heard this. Yeah. It's funny that they kind of toggle back and forth. Like, okay, I've seen enough. I'm going to go to the audio. Some people want to consume, audio. They want to be not a passive listener. They want to be able to, is that right? Yeah. They want to be a passive listener and not just be a static viewer. I get it. They can do things. They can wash the dishes. They can go on a walk. They can work out. They can work on stuff. I get it. Now, you could just put the show on Netflix on a device and listen to it if you wanted to, but we're going to break it down for you. So I think that's fantastic. I think that we're like, a part of the show, like a supplemental part of the show. But I love that we're now replacing the show for 46-year-old guy. So kudos on you. Thank you for being a fan, for taking the time to write the review. Now, we're one of two of your podcasts. Don't know what the other one is, but I'm glad that we're the one that really made you love Cobra Kai. So I'm touched, very touched.
I used to listen the first couple of seasons of you and I doing Let's Talk Cobra Kai. I did listen to other. I'm not going to use the word competitor, but they were like other podcasts related to Cobra. Yeah, related to Cobra Kai, and I did appreciate a couple of them. I listened to a few of them. I kind of fell off, so I'm going to go ahead and listen, give them a re-listen. Yeah. But I'm genuinely curious. What are the other two? Top two. What is the other one? Because you know why? If one of our fans, 46-year-old guy, loves another podcast related to Cobra Kai, I would love to know. I'd love to hear it. I would listen to it myself.
Well, I didn't want to tell you this, Sal.
What?
But I secretly launched Let's Talk Karate Kid. And I've been doing that.
You have another co-host, co-host.
Total.
I get it. I understand.
It's the truth is out. The truth is out. All right, Sal, please take the next one.
5 stars. I love this podcast! !
Woo.
I've listened to every single episode of this podcast multiple times. Can't get enough. Consistently funny, consistently entertaining, consistently wholesome. If I could give more than 5 stars, I genuinely would. And that's by HLEBLANC 12. Leblanc, HLE Blanc 12 via Apple Podcasts. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Love it.
That's very nice.
Would you give us an 11?
Yeah.
Would you
give us an 11?
That's
give
great,
us a 7 stars if you could. Give us.
I love it. Consistently funny, entertaining, wholesome. More than 5 stars. Listens to every episode of this podcast multiple times. This is a super fan, man. Wow.
Jason,
I love it.
To our listeners, sometimes Jason and I will be like, should we drop an F-bomb? We'll be like, well, the show drops an F-bomb. So if the show drops an F-bomb, we drop an F-bomb. But we try to keep our content as far as like, if the show is NC-17, we're NC-17. If the show is PG-13, we're PG-13. We're trying to just basically stay on level with the show itself.
Yeah.
So whatever Cobra Kai is, that's what we are as well.
Yeah. I'm not against cursing in the real world if it enhances something, a point, or if it's relevant, but I just kind of made a decision on this show. Even when they do it, I even hold back some, because unless it's like it really is needed, it's just never felt necessary to me. But this show does. The show crosses lines that I was shocked about. Like, wow, that was an F-bomb. Yeah. And then we might work it into conversation. But, you listen to some podcasts, and I'm not judging, but it's so much I could see as a listener, even if it's funny, too much is too much. Too much of anything is too much. Yeah. The one thing you can't do enough of is thank your fans. And that's what we're doing right here.
The one thing you can't do enough of, 5-star reviews, 5-star
Five-star
Apple
or more.
reviews. That's
Thank you, HLE blank BLANC 12. Awesome review. Really, kudos. Much appreciative. And now another 5-star review. Great show. Like listening to friends. Oh, I love that. I really do. I'm late to the Cobra Kai train and Karate Kid. I binge watched all the episodes and immediately looked for a podcast. This one was the best of all the ones out there. I have listened to all the shows now, and it's been great. Thanks for all you do. By My Little Melody. Great handle and great review. Late to the train. We've talked about this recently. Maybe it was the last volume, but not everyone jumps on things as they come out. Some are seasons
Jason,
behind.
I was late to the train.
You were late. I had to introduce you to Cobra Kai, but
Yep.
you were still an early adopter compared to so many. But now this person, My Little Melody, has binge watched all the episodes, and we are that companion for this fan, and that's really means a lot. And I love that we're like listening to friends, and now it's like they're in the inner circle. You do a 5-star review, you're in the inner circle. You become a Patreon, you're in the inner circle. So I love it. It's great to have you on board, and this review is fantastic. And again, it's going to be on the website, posted for all to see, as well as on Apple.
Yeah, and I just want to be clear for all of our listeners. Jason and I were friends, but we have a history. Jason and I go back years. When Jason was doing Jason was doing his film festivals. Jason before that, Jason was casting for his documentaries. So Jason was casting for his documentaries. Then he had his film festivals. Then he needed a host and a moderator for his film festivals in Los Angeles. So we have a history together, Jason and I. So just to be clear, when Jason contacted me about podcasting, I was retired from podcasting. I was like, I'd done it. But Jason contacted me. And when Jason contacted me, I'm like, you know what? I'll give it a go. So I gave it a go because of Jason. Otherwise, I would have just been retired and be done, because I had a podcast career. I was on Sirius XM. I had a great time. I was done. But Jason comes along, and now here we are.
Here we are. Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day. We met in 2005, February. I think it was February 5th. So just think about that. We've known each other now for 18 years.
Nice.
18 years. And our anniversary was 4 days ago, on the day that we met.
You remember the day that we met? Because of the audition.
Because the audition.
Wow.
Yeah. That was because the audition. It wasn't like, Sal, good to meet you.
You didn't mark it down
in my mind. February 5th, 2005. No, I remember it. It had to be. And you came out to the audition, and I remember thinking, he's not right for this role. I know you probably heard this before as an actor. He's not right for this role, but we love this guy. Great. But I found another role for you, hosting at the festival, and the rest, as they say, is history.
Yeah, and here we are. No, it's been a long run. It's gone through ups and downs, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you, Jason.
Yeah, and I'm sorry to say that this is the end of it.
Good night, folks. Good night, Encino.
Glad it lasted. Why it did. Okay, Sal. Let's see here. I believe, my friend, you're up.
5-star review. Great Cobra Kai and Karate Kid commentary. Love these guys. Ooh. They're a bit older. What?
Hold on. Where's the record needle?
Cancel that one. They're a bit older, so have a true appreciation and memory for the original movies, which adds a nice layer of personal stories along with a love for the show. They do their research, and their dynamic is hilarious. We'll never forget Sal's stories. This is embarrassing.
Oh my God.
We'll never forget Sal's stories about being a juvenile delinquent and feeling for Robbie. Haha. Yes, folks, I spent time in Sylmar Juvenile Detention Facility, where Robbie was a prisoner himself. Yeah, I was there when I was a kid. I had a juvenile delinquent spell. So believe me, I relate to Robbie in our storyline. I absolutely do. Thank you, Hawaiian Sophie via Apple Podcasts. Thank you.
Hawaiian Sophie in the city.
Yeah, what is that in the city?
I like it. I like it. Did you say the whole thing the first time?
Hawaiian Sophie in the city
in the
via
city.
Apple Podcasts.
Fantastic review. Hawaiian Sophie in the city. Really funny. Yes, Sal does share things. We both do, but your juvenile delinquent stories are famous or infamous around here. Wonderful stuff. I called you an alum that one time. I was just kidding. But yeah, personal stories layered in give it hopefully just a little bit more depth, and you get to know us better. And yes, we are a bit older. I don't know who you're comparing us to.
Wait, hang on. If you're comparing us to Daniel,
your little brother,
to Machio and Zabka, we are not older.
Not older, but Robbie and the younger cast, sure. Compared
to Eli and Hawk, I am older.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Fantastic review. Really funny. Good stuff. Also, Sal, I just realized I had the wrong date.
What?
We met on February 4th, 2005.
February 4th, 2005.
Meeting anniversary was 5 days ago. I had to make sure it was the 4th or the 5th. It was a Friday, not a Saturday. And I looked it up. So that was our February 4th, 2005.
And then our second meeting would have been Gibson guitar, right?
No, that was the 4th was, the auditions. And then the first year at the festival would have been the one in Cinespace.
Yes.
And it would have been, it wasn't Gibson guitar. That was 08. It was 07.
Okay. So there was 1 or 2 years there between.
Yeah. I said, give me one Sal Rodriguez, find him. And we went to year 5.
Give me a young Sal Rodriguez.
I need a young Sal Rodriguez quick. All right. We only have not many more, but this is so much fun. And here we go. The next one, all 5-star, of course. Cobra. Don't take it. You did the last one.
Did
Slow
I?
Down. Yes, you did the Hawaiian Sophie in the city. I'm doing this one.
Go ahead.
I'll leave and you just do them all.
I'm too anxious. I'm very anxious.
Cobra Broing It. Great title. I gotta say. I have absolutely loved your guys' show from day one, and this is an awesome intro. You guys are totally my bros in my headspace. Keep up the great art, and I will forever listen. I would even be down with a rewatch starting from season 1, episode 1, as it relates to today's world and events. Yeah, think about this, Al. That was pre-pandemic. The world was different. Yeah. It was on YouTube Red. It was a different time. Yeah. Still going. Seriously, cannot get enough of you guys when it comes to the Cobra Kai Karate Kid universe.
Wow. Very nice.
Wow.
Very nice.
It was fantastic. What a review. And this is by Howls A. Hoolz, capital A. Howls A. I love it. You are our bro in our headspace.
I like that part. You guys are totally my bros in my headspace. That means he's like living his life, working his job, whatever the heck that might be, and he's thinking of our show as he's doing
thinking, that. All right, Jason and Sal, we're back for another episode.
Oh, so nice. Yeah. Very, very
I love it. And he's been with us from day one. Hey man, that's great. And you know what? Let's not overlook what he threw out there.
Oh, yes.
Rewatch starting from season 1, episode 1.
Yeah.
It's something we could do. We could sit down and you and I watch it in real time, or we watch it and we just do an episode right then and there. We just jump on for even a 5-10 minute, just faster version. We are starting to do rewatches on, we did a lot of scene by scene breakdowns. That's what we do on the show. Let's Talk Cobra Kai. On Let's Talk Movies, we did those as well. Movies, scene by scene breakdown. It's like Karate Kid 1, 2, but we were doing classic movies. Now we're doing some rewatches. I watch a movie that I've seen, but it's wow, it's fresh in my mind. I grab Sal or another co-host, or I go on solo and just do an episode for that. So I love that idea of rewatching, because you might love something once, and you could love it again, but for very different reasons. And it's
Yeah.
interesting to explore that. So I like it. So shout out to you, Halsey. I can't say yes or no to that, but it's worth thinking about. Maybe
No, I think it's
randomly
great.
exploring.
No, you know what, Jason? I am not inherently a rewatcher. I'm not one of these guys that watches their favorite movie 10, 20, 30 times, 100 times.
Yeah.
I'm not that guy.
Oh,
But
okay.
over the
Mm.
years, I've become more appreciative of that, because what
Yeah,
happens
absolutely.
is this, like, you watch something at your state in life, and then 10 years later, you
Yep.
watch it again, and 10 years later,
Very
and you're
different.
watching the same content at different stages of your own life, and you're going to experience that content differently.
Plus,
So
over time,
I
you've
become more
grown a
appreciative of
connection.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's why it's why I even like the Let's Talk Movies for various reasons, because it's an outlet for me. It's almost an excuse to go revisit something. And when I go visit a movie, I do it not all the time, but I have wide, vast knowledge of movies. But to go and revisit one, it's really like sitting down with a good friend. You know, you might forget a few details here and there if it's been long enough, but a well-told movie is a well-told story, and we don't run out of wanting to hear or see great stories unfold. So I'm glad that we can be a little bit of that for someone else. The Just Curious Media content we have fans, and that means so much to me that we do these episodes to shine a light on the fans, because they keep us going when we're overwhelmed with things, our own lives and this, that, and the other, and we're doing multiple things. And it's like, oh yeah, there's someone else out there that wants our content. And it just means a ton.
Yeah.
I know it does to you as well.
Well, yeah, because, in the beginning, I was reluctant. In the beginning, I was like, I don't know about these fan appreciation, because I kind of felt like we were just tooting on our own horn. Like, we're like, hey, everybody, look how awesome we are. But later, I'm realizing, no, that's not what it's about. It's not about how great we are. It's about honoring our fans. It's about giving our fans a wall of fame on our own website,
Yes.
justcuriousmedia.com. It's about honoring our listeners. It's about giving kudos to our listeners who are there supporting us. That's what these episodes are about.
Absolutely. Well, we have 2 left. You'll take one. I'll take the last one.
You sure? You sure?
I'm trying.
5-star review. Hope this podcast never dies. Really love the podcast. I have gotten many of my friends hooked on the show, and I'm glad I have chosen. Fucking great. Great. CHOZEN. I am glad I have chosen a podcast that shares my passion for Cobra Kai, and that is by G3 Angelos. G3 Angelos via Apple Podcast. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. I love fans being ambassadors for our show, getting friends hooked. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. G3 Angelos. And yes, you have chosen the right podcast to follow, of which will never die. I love it. I love it. Good stuff here, folks. Good stuff. And that leaves
The word chosen will never be the same. The name chosen. Well, first of all, there's no other name chosen. So the word chosen will never be the same again.
Great usage there. I love it. And this will wrap up our 5-star podcast for this Fan Appreciation Volume 8. This Cobra Kai podcast. I like that. I hope it's a good thing. We know it's a 5-star. I don't ever watch podcasts like this. Hang on a second. Let me read that again. I don't ever watch podcasts like this. Is my second day listening to my first ever podcast, and I love it. And even more because I love Cobra Kai. I'm a huge fan. I just love. Wow. And this is by Travis Nelson, 1036 1036. A lot of love here, a lot of passion, Travis. I get you, man. I get you. Nothing else like it. And he's a fan of the show, us, and he wanted to share it, and we needed it. And another beautiful 5-star review.
Jason, you know what this means? Travis Nelson, 1036, shares first ever podcast. We will forever live in Travis Nelson's mind as the first ever podcast that he listened to.
You know what he did?
What?
He chose the right. Too soon? Too soon. Oh,
I'll take it. I'll take it.
I'll tell you.
I'll take it.
No, very, very, very great to be someone's first podcast. Like, and also like a lot of people don't watch podcasts or they don't listen. They're funny. People consume content in a very intimate way. Like, oh, I don't do that. I'll do this. But to be like, I never do that. Well, now I do. This is actually pretty good to be that barrier that broke someone through. Yeah, man. I have mine. I have my little special, like, I was into that show before it got big, those types of things you're proud of. Or I was into that band and now everyone's listening to that band.
Sure.
Well, we're that for some people. And that's really amazing. Like, it's not lost on me at all. So unlike a film festival, when I was running film festivals or making movies, going to film festivals, podcasting is very much like in the studio, you and me, or me and a guest host, or me and a solo. You're not out seeing your fans. Yeah. I'm not going like, hey, let's talk Cobra Kai. Hey, what's up? Just Curious Media. So like, this is how we talk to our fans. And we do pluck some and ask them to come on the show with us every once in a while. And that's how we get that interaction. So it really is amazing because we miss out on some of those other layers that we would get in the real world.
Yeah.
If you will.
Well, yeah, we are an audio medium consumed by people at their leisure, pretty much. Yes. So they're not relying on us to be anywhere in particular, because that's kind of spoils the whole point. The whole point of people listening to podcasts is that they can listen to it at their leisure, on their time, when they want and how they want. So us appearing somewhere, well, that's kind of creates some sort of variable that we're not accustomed to, or the listener's not accustomed to.
But wait until we take it on the road.
Believe me, I've thought about that. You and I should be on the road. We should be at various cons and so forth.
Yeah, look for us in the future, folks, doing some fun stuff. But we're going to be coming back and doing more of these. So that covers it, Sal. That is the end of Volume 8. I cannot believe it. A ton of great stuff. Any parting words for our wonderful fans?
No, just want to say thank you to all of our Patreons, to all of our listeners, to all of our supporters, to all of our 5-star reviewers. Thank you for being there. For not just me, for Jason, for Just Curious Media, for Cobra Kai. Yes. Thank you for being there. We really appreciate it.
I absolutely agree. 1000%. We couldn't do it without you guys. It would just be Sal and I, and we could save a lot of money and just call each other on the old phone. But we put a lot more time and energy into this because we want to grow something. We want to be a friend, a cyber friend, a podcast friend to each and every one of you. And thank you, really, from the bottom of my heart. So thank you so much for listening, and please be sure to subscribe to the Let's Talk Cobra Kai podcast and the Let's Talk Cobra Kai YouTube live channel. You can also really help us by giving the show a 5-star rating on Apple Podcast.
And for all you listeners that enjoy sharing your thoughts, you can leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, send us a direct message, or post a comment on a Let's Talk Cobra Kai social media platform.
If you're a dedicated listener or viewer of Let's Talk Cobra Kai, please consider supporting the show on Patreon. We also highly recommend checking out our other podcast and visiting justcuriousmedia.com.
No mercy.
Wow.